Let me talk to him.
So what's going on, everybody? I thought we could talk today a little bit about WWE 2K24. What are your thoughts overall? A little bit of an impromptu hangout with everybody. I wanted to go through probably a little bit by bit. And Demi, you got the right idea. Let's talk about MyFaction. I want to talk about that first. So MyFaction is there. It's turning into not exactly what I want it to be. I was hoping MyFaction would be doing a lot of different things in terms of the entire rollout, frankly. Oh, Abigail, 14 months. What's going on? Good morning. You love the new studio. Thank you very much. We're trying new angles here, so I'm not just stuck on my computer. I can kind of hang out. MyFaction is the first thing I want to talk to everybody about. It's the Persona card specifically. So we talked about this in other videos too. It's not working for me, brother. So one of the things is like the lack of content and I guess the slow rollout. The game has been out for several months now. And when we talk about Persona cards, I guess I just, and I have nothing to base it off of. I just thought we would get Persona cards kind of like, I don't know, every week, more than a month, more than every, like maybe every month consistently. And they just kind of pop up. And like I would consider the poor execution of the Persona cards for Roman Reigns, The Rock, excuse me, I thought those were not well done. I thought that was bad. It was asking for way too much money. It wasn't like it was so hard to get. I never got them. And I wasn't ready to grind out for so long to be able to get these things. It just didn't make any sense to me. So it was like you had to get the Sami Zayn card from that pack to then get the Raw or Roman Reigns, like beat the thing, and like getting those cards and those packs were still hard to get. And then you had to get, if you want to get the Rock, it was like crazy. Like you had to get so many of these other cards, and then not being able to have Rock's updated model, you weren't even getting Final Boss Rock. You got everything's the exact same, but he's got a tank top and he's got a tattoo. And people are spending hundreds of dollars on all of this. Nathan says, what are your thoughts on live service WWE game? It seems like it's actually going that way. We'll talk about that in a little bit too. Red says, MyFaction's the root of all evil. Persona cards moneymaker. If they actually made them, let us buy them. Well, Guy, that's the thing too, is where I get confused or am not happy with MyFaction is it's the, like, I can't go into the card market itself. It bothers me because I can't go in there and just buy a card, like a Persona card. I mean, specifically, like I still can't get the Shield Seth Rollins. I don't know how. I know there's a way, but you're still grinding it out to get all these miscellaneous cards and they take forever. And so I am like, why can't I just go into the card market and just buy the Seth card for $10 and just get the model? Like, I don't get it. Other than it's just well, we want to make money off of it, dummy. And we don't want people to just buy the cards. We want them to grind for it because, like you may have seen examples online. There are examples of people spending hundreds of dollars online to be able to get these cards. And I don't understand why. Like, you got a lot of money, man. It's just nuts. You're going to be able to go in there and spend like $400, $200, $600. Like, it's really, really wild to me. Just looking at, Odd Gaming, good morning. Hey, Mike, what's going on? Qatar, yeah, $400 is insane. And those are some of the prices I've seen. But that's part of the problem here is that if people are willing to spend that kind of money on attires on these models, then the thing is never going to go away. And like they've been doing it for NBA 2K for years, and WWE 2K is trying to figure this out now in its third year of doing it. And like when they do it next year, inevitably bring out MyFaction again, you know that they're going to make some minor tweaks, minor improvements. And there are things that like I do like with it. Like I played MyFaction the most this year out of all 3 years, and it's got the most to offer in terms of live events, They are doing more live events. They offer way more. They have the Persona cards, which you could maybe get, maybe not. But it's so bloody expensive to do it. And you're either doing it out of like your actual pocket to get these cards. And like, I know people that have spent $200 to just buy packs because it doesn't even guarantee that you're going to get it. So people get into the addictive nature of it where they're just going to be spending in order to hopefully get that. And then they get nothing. Like, they just get absolutely nothing. I was watching cartoons, but I saw your live. Oh, thanks, just in time. Thank you. Do you think they will go hard on 2K25 because GTA 6 is released in the same year? No, Rue, it's different teams. And it's going to be all just, they're just doing their own thing. The logo glitch, JC, is still not fixed. That's a bummer. Montaigne says 400. Okay, JC, don't spam. Montaigne says that at 400 you just bought another system or a bunch of games. Well, that's the thing. That's what I don't personally understand, is how people are spending hundreds of dollars on it. You spent and people that are spending that kind of money, I would only have to assume they've also spent, you know, they got the 40 years edition. You're telling me you're a really hardcore fan. And so that they've spent hundreds of dollars on these on the game, excuse me. And then they go out and spend $100 more on these packs for a Roman Reigns who has a man bun. And by the way, I think one of the biggest misses with MyFaction is not having the ability to even alt the attire. Like, you get man bun Roman Reigns and you can't go and give him like in-ring gear. You can't swap it out. The Rock, you can't get him out of the tank top to just go with no shirt and do a rock bottom. That to me is wild, because then I'm spending. You're like, okay, here it is. He's in the game for you. Have fun. Maybe you do pull the card and you get it without spending real money. Maybe you get really lucky. But then I can't even use it other than just like the gear they have on. Like, I'm like, come on. Like, I'm spending all this time and money. Like, you're going to unlock it in the game. Make it unlockable. So the prices, like VJC says, I think the prices are ridiculous for MyFaction. I think the card prices are also very high. Like, I don't know what NBA 2K's pricing is for when they are going to do packs, what the actual pack cost is in comparison. I have to look it up. But it's so expensive when you're doing any of these packs. I'm like, I can't even grind for a little while and be able to get it at a reasonable price. Why is there no DX theme or Titantron in WWE 2K24 on Momita? It's just not there. They just haven't put it in there. It's ridiculous. Sorry, guys, I'm just checking in the chat now. How are you doing, by the way? Thank you so much for joining us here in Assemble. We are live. We got around 277 people. Guys, do me a favor if you guys enjoy the show. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And also, you can go check out Assemble Wrestling, which is our other channel. Where it is just focusing on big WWE and AEW topics. So if you want to go support there, we just launched that one about a week ago. So it's Assemble Wrestling if you guys want to hang out. So MyFaction, I think, is one of the big... Is it a big miss this year? It's more of the same, but the introduction of Persona cards were very exciting for players, and they wanted to be able to do even more in that game. I was excited for the potential of Persona cards coming out every week, every month, and getting them with a little bit of grind, and then being able to unlock it or do certain tasks and get them unlocked, and not making it so insane. It's really a turnoff where I'm like, I don't jump in there now to play MyFaction. Like, the thing for me, everybody, is that I'm not I don't have that I don't have the card collecting mentality. I know some people love it. They want to complete their sets. They want to do all of that. That's awesome. I'm glad people enjoy it for what it is. I've gone in and I have played it, and I'm like, oh, cool, I got these cards, or I like clearing out the faction wars, or I like clearing out some of the live events. And I do like some of that. Or even the weekly towers. I like clearing those out and be like, okay, cool, I've gotten everything up to date on that. But then I just lose interest. Like, some of the matchups, okay, cool, you can put in these unique matches. Some of them are way too grindy. Like, the one that was up the other day was like fight Andre the Giant on his birthday or something like that, and I'm like, I couldn't beat him. He had 10 minutes on the clock. I'm like, I don't do this. It's ridiculous. Oh, FBE, thank you so much for the super chat. That a new setup, Matt? Yeah, for sure. It's what it's like slightly askew from what you see in the videos that we got. Brandon says logo glitch, Matt. Well, what's going on with logo glitch? Still messed up. Central Wrestling News, thank you so much for subscribing to the other channel. We also have today's sponsor, guys, which is Surfshark. So if you guys want to check them out and get discounts off of the product, go check it out because they're a big supporter for the channel. So we have them in the pinned comment too if you want to. So MyFaction, not a fan. I don't know about you guys. Let me know. The feedback in the comments I hear is that it's not good in the current state. And I think Persona cards is one of the biggest things that is bothering the community right now is the approach and the rollout for it. MyFaction is here to stay by all accounts. Clearly, it's not going to go anywhere when we do hear stories of people saying, hey, I dropped $600 on digital cards to get The Rock. And I'm like, you don't get the Titantron, you don't get the new theme. It's barely a new look, and you can't even alter the look. And I know people in the chat will be like, yeah, that's why we got community creations, and that's why you got mods, dummy, on PC. Absolutely, go do that. Brennan, will you mention the logo glitch, Matt? Logo glitch. There, I did it. It's just so much. Rue says next year's 2K contract with WWE is ending. Do you think EA should take over WWE games? No, and I don't think they are. I think 2K is going to continue that ride for quite some time. So today, guys, we are talking, if you're just joined us now, we are talking kind of just the current state of WWE 2K24. Hang on, I'm just trying to listen to hear how the back noise, how everything sounds. How are you doing? I'm just going to adjust how our audio sounds, how everything is. Let's see. Yeah, not bad. So yeah, we're talking about just kind of like the current state of WWE 2K24 and how has it been and how has it been for you. We got the first DLC pack out, the ECW Punk pack, which I think was a pretty big success in terms of just CM Punk being in the pack, but they did other things in there too, which I thought was that it was a win because they surprised us with the addition of new weapons, which I'm all for. I think those are the pleasant surprises you want to see in the game that shows us that the devs are wanting to support the game, that they want to do more. Punk, I think, turned out great in the pack. That's the headliner. But then we look at the down the road. So let's talk about the current state and let's talk about how the DLC is looking. Boy, got the mood music in the background. Absolutely, Eric. So let's talk about the DLC. So we got the next one coming out. I don't have it directly in front of me, but it's the Post Malone and Friends, isn't it? So we have that as the next pack, which isn't going to give you that much. FPE says that's why The Rock that's why we have the GOAT status. No need to spend $400 on The Rock. It's true. Let's take a look here at the WWE 2K24 DLC. I'm just pulling it up on my phone, by the way, so it won't be on screen. There's not going to be any fun stuff here. So I'm just looking it up now. The Post Malone and Friends, June 26th. So we are actually like a month away from the new DLC coming out. Post Malone, I don't care. Sensational Sherry, is it playable or no? It would have said manager. So Sensational Sherry is going to be a playable character. Mosh and Thrasher, so I get the headbangers. Honky Tonk Man. Jimmy Hart as a manager. I like Jimmy Hart. It'd be cool to have Jimmy Hart in there. And the MyFaction content. This, I feel, is one of the weak packs. Like, I'm not terribly excited. What do you guys think? I'm not terribly excited for pack number 2. It's not really doing too much. Johnny says he'll take the Post Malone and Friends pack over the Pat McAfee and Friends. Yeah, me too, 100%. But this next pack is like, we got it in June. Kadar, Honky Tonk Band, yeah, it could be fun. I like Mosh and Thrasher. I like how I'm getting headbangers. I'm an Attitude Era guy. I like Jimmy Hart to be manager for Hulk Hogan. That's fine. So, like, it's fine. I would probably say it's okay. Then you get into the Pat McAfee show pack, July 24th. This is, like, I don't know why they're doing this. I can guess why, in that it's a WWE decision. The thing is, guys, is that what we have to remember too is these DLC decisions, they're made by WWE. it's not 2K sitting there being like, we want just Pat McAfee and his buddies in a pack, and that's going to be fun for everybody. It's done by WWE. They themselves decide, we want this and this and that. We want these superstars. We want these legends in the packs. It's their call. So, like, but this is not like this Pat McAfee pack. I'm sorry. It's hot trash to me. Like, I don't care for it. I think it's like, it's a waste of the DLC. It's a waste of slots. We could have got more legends. We could have got more NXT wrestlers in there. It's such a bizarre thing for them to do. Like, we've had bad DLC or okay DLC in the past, and it is what it is. This pack is like Pat McAfee, Ty Schmidt, Boston Connor, AJ Hawk, Darius Butler, and the MyFaction content. Who, like, come on, like, who cares? You can't even tell me you're gonna sprinkle this thing up and make it sound better than it is. Who actually cares about any of this? I have been wanting Pat McAfee in the wrestling game for a couple of years now. And we've had teases of it, and like his what was it? Like, they had things of like his Titantron and entrance motion and things like that or whatever in the files in the years past. It's finally happened. I'm excited Pat's going to be in the game. But like, for WWE to have to negotiate, and I remember Pat McAfee said on his own show, and he was like, well, I'll get in the game, but like, I'll only do it if the boys are in too. It's like, okay, like, I get it. You want your buddies in a video game, and it's going to be a lot of ha-ha for them to be able to have Ty Schmidt in a video game, and they'll talk about it for, 10 minutes. The thing is, like it's promotional crap too. 2K will love it because they'll look and say, our game is getting featured probably on Pat McAfee's show, and Pat's probably going to put it on during his show at one point, and they'll all play as each other and goof around and run around for 10 minutes and then shut the thing off and never talk about it again. And then 2K is going to go, yay, this is awesome because look, Pat McAfee's talking about the video game. Yay, promotion, wide audience. Pat McAfee show's like got a massive, massive audience. So I understand it. I get it from that side, but that's not that's not your audience. Pat's audience is not your 2K, your video game audience. They are different. The amount of times when I've brought up the DLC, the amount of times I have seen in the comments, people endlessly just going through being like, who are these people? Who is this? And they don't know who it is. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense why they're doing it. FB, thank you for the super chat, buddy. The next DLC I'm hyped for is the one that will be released in September, I think. Yeah, we'll get there too. JC says, I mean, sales are sales. Yeah, I guess so. Promotional pack we have to pay for. Lee Van J, Matt, Dragon Lee, and Carlito DLC 20 September, too late. It is. It gets to be really silly. So the Pat pack is kind of whatever right now. Not into it, brother. Then you get the Global Superstars pack. The Global Superstars pack, Jade Cargill, Nia, Michelle McCool. We got Michelle in there. Delivering pile drivers left and right, ladies and gentlemen. Carlito, Kairi Sane, Lyra Valkyria, Dragon Lee, and the MyFaction content. The Global Superstars pack, very exciting. At first glance, I was like, eh. But now I'm like, I think it over and I'm like, yeah, I need all of these people for my roster. Every single one of them. I mean, they can't change it now, but like 2K, that should not be September. That should be July. Like, that should be second pack. That pack is the one that everyone wants and needs for the game. And then you get into the WCW pack, which is November 13th. Like, guys, we go from end of July, nothing in August, end of September is this global pack, nothing in October, then November, mid-November, we get the WCW pack of DDP, Iron Sheik, Mr. Perfect, Great Muta, and Lex Luger. End of November. And then the next game is going to come out presumably in March. I don't understand. Like, you're waiting until November to be able to get your hands on the final piece of content. Oh, also, we're still waiting for the WrestleMania 40 arena, which we don't have a clear date on. I have no idea when it's coming out. It's presumably coming out in the summertime. I think that was the rumor, but they haven't even given us the actual date in there. I'm like, it's been going on for so long. The Zanster, thank you so much for your super chat, buddy. We need more MyGM content. Also sub to assemble. Thank you so much. MyGM content, I think MyGM is probably the most solid thing. We'll talk more about the modes in a second. I think MyGM is like one of the more solid things they did this year. It's the most balanced because Universe mode is not doing it anymore. Brentman says by November, some of the game base has stopped playing. Yeah, like I think you get through to the summer. And you know what? It's interesting about that is that with the timelines, personally, I wouldn't have done it that way. I think it's way too spread out. And I would think that maybe they're doing it because of Persona cards and they want to be able to push that in between. But they can't rely on that. And that's not enough to be able to lift the game up. And honestly, by the time you get to September, I think it should have been like it has been the last couple of years. You ended the DLC by August, September, because then you're getting into all the fall games. You get into your Call of Duties and everything, all your AAA releases for the holiday season. And yeah, I want more content from 2K. I understand, like, you want to spread it out so that there is more content to get people to come back in. And I will come back in November. But man, it's like the end of November, and then you're going to turn around and say December, January, 2 months, you're going to wait maybe 60 days, and then you're going to see content dropping on the next game and the news on the next game on 2K25. And like, I like that that's going to be kind of bam, bam, bam in that regard. Like there isn't a lot of downtime from a creator standpoint. I think, hey, there's not a lot of downtime because usually it's August, September and the game is dead and there's nothing else. And then you're talking about the next game. So you do have DLC to the end of November. So on one hand, it's good, but I feel like the dates are so spread out in between that like you're going to lose so much of your audience. It's not going to be fun. FB says, I got the Nightbird MyFaction card and I have absolutely no idea what it does for me. I heard of that too. I didn't even look. I was off for the weekend. And then I saw like people were like, there's a Nightbird. I'm like, what? There's an Uncle Howdy card in there too. Jamari, do you think that they'll patch Naomi in for free like last year, or will they wait till the next year? I think they'll wait till the next year. Maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised. I wish they would patch her in this year. It would give the fans more to do, especially on the Pat McAfee pack. If 2K watches any of this or hears some other creators, you understand that nobody is excited for this in the grand scheme of things. Pat McAfee, WWE, they're excited for the Pat McAfee pack. Your wrestling fans and the video game audience and the 2K audience and the people that buy your game every year, I think, can't speak for everybody, I think a lot of them are not excited for that DLC pack. And I hope 2K can turn around and do something really cool to help boost it a little bit. I don't think that they would add more to the DLC, but like we saw in this first DLC pack that they launched, the ECW pack, we got the fun of CM Punk. We got a cool pack to go with it, but then they dropped the patch update, which did a lot. And they also dropped in new weapons, which we didn't expect. So I really hope that once we get to this Pat McAfee and Friends pack, that what they do is they say, here's the DLC, and maybe they do something cool. Drop Naomi. Maybe they add more weapons. Maybe they fix universe mode. Maybe they do better things for the core game. Because I don't think it's doing anything for people that went out and bought the season pass or they bought the Ultimate Edition. UK Matt 27, dude, thank you for your super chat. Is there any way to still get the Roman Persona? I haven't turned the game on in a couple of days, so I assume the event is over. So I don't think that there is a way to actually get it. Oh yeah, Byron, we also need AOP in the game. That would be cool. That'd be cool if they just dropped AOP back in. Come on, it's the same characters, the same gear from like 2K20 or whenever they were in last. It's not anything different. I really think that they need to do more when it comes to around the time of the Pat pack to really keep fans going. The gaps between the dates of the DLC is also an issue for me. Those gaps are massive. Like, you're not holding players on, in my opinion. Devin, thank you very much for your super chat, buddy. I want to see a Finley return. We could get Shillelagh as a weapon and Hornswoggle as a manager. I want the Silver Apron SmackDown arena as well. I want more arenas, dude. I want more retro arenas. Give me like a SmackDown pack and Raw pack. One of the things I suggested to 2K directly was, hey, maybe you could update some of the arenas you could update Raw and SmackDown for 2024. with the aprons, basically, because the stage design is the same, but all they've done is they changed things to black with the Raw logo, and likewise on SmackDown, the SmackDown logo. One of my suggestions was, could you patch in updated Raw and SmackDown and give that to fans? I think that would go a long way, because that keeps things up to date. Carson says, coming. Don't spam. Abigail, oh, thank you. I also heard that the ban on Brock is lifted. Oh, Tim, let's talk about that as well. Before we do that, though, we got to hear from today's sponsor. 1 second.
In my house, there's me, there's my wife, there are 2 kids. And guess what? I always get blamed that there's nothing on TV. My wife's got the Apple TV going, there's things just humming all over the place, and I get complained to every single day that there's nothing to watch. So that's where today's sponsor comes in, Surfshark. Because guess what? The complaints, they're gone. It's very quiet in Matt's house now. I can log into Netflix. I can change my IP address. I don't look like I'm living in Canada. Bam, whole new setup for all the shows. The kids don't even know what's happening to them half the time. They're seeing stuff that's on Netflix that's never even been there. My wife doesn't know how to use this stuff. But thanks to Surfshark, it's actually made very easy with their app. Being able to do things like change all of their streaming platforms to get to a different country so that it makes the viewing experience a little bit better, and you got more options in there. And for guys like me, what I really care about is all of the network security and privacy that Surfshark has to offer. But on top of that, the big thing for my wife and I, because we do travel quite a bit, is being able to have that extra layer of security on our devices. So when we use Surfshark when we travel, we can actually log into our banking, feel more comfortable. Everything is encrypted, it's private, there is going to be no issues for us, so we kind of feel a lot safer. Now what's funny is that I told my wife that it has a feature that removes all of the pop-up cookies and all of that stuff. And then she said, why are you getting rid of our cookies? So I said, there's new stuff on Netflix, and she was good to go. There's no risk in trying Surfshark for a 30-day money-back guarantee. Secure your privacy with Surfshark and use the code ASSEMBLE and get yourself 4 months of extra service. Now I'm gonna go watch something on my Netflix, and everything's gonna be better in my world.
Okay, thank you. And thanks, Surfshark, sponsoring the show. I want to talk about Brock. Let's talk about Brock Lesnar, the man himself, Mr. Brock Lesnar. He is apparently, there was some article that was out that was saying how Brock is going to be put back into WWE, being put back into the game. I'm just going to look it up here for a second. But I saw people posting about it, and they're saying, oh, Brock is coming back. Brock is coming back. Let's see here. News. I forget what the news site was. Day ago. Rumors of Brock. Okay, let's look at... Let's look at Bleacher Report. Okay, so according to... Okay, this is from Ringside News that had... let's see if I can get to the Ringside News article. WWE, according to Ringside News, WWE lifts the ban on Brock Lesnar's name amidst the absence. The absence of Brock Lesnar from television since his match against Cody at SummerSlam has sparked widespread speculation about his future with the company. Amidst rumors and concerns, it seems that WWE has lifted the ban on mentioning his name, leading to the renewed interest and anticipation amongst fans. The plans are in motion for Lesnar to participate in the Rumble. However, those plans were disputed due to the legal entanglements related to Vince McMahon's trafficking lawsuit. Yeah, Vince is a scumbag. Lesnar's absence from WWE programming has coincided with setbacks with his relationship with the company. He was notably excluded from the latest WWE video game. Well, he's in there, but he's not. However, during the King and Queen of the Ring premium live event, Brock Lesnar was mentioned by Michael Cole, surprising fans and fueling speculation about a potential return. Ringside News reached out to a member of WWE writing staff for clarification on the Lesnar's mention, and it was revealed that Paul Heyman had referenced Lesnar several times during the Hall of Fame. Yes, he did. Following this, WWE lifted the ban on his name. While it remains uncertain whether Lesnar will return to television, fans can take solace in the fact that he is no longer banned from being mentioned. This development opens the doors for potential future appearances and storylines involving the Beast incarnate. For you guys, do you think that Brock Lesnar gets added back into WWE 2K24? Or do you think that they are going to simply wait until WWE 2K25 if he is going to stay associated with them? What do you guys think? FBE, dude, thank you so much for your super chats today. It says the blood in the game make the game so much better for me. It's so fun playing a banger match and there's blood on the mat. Absolutely. And I do like the trading blows feature too. Probably not, and save them till 2K25. I don't know. Hey, David Henry, Assemble supporter, brother. Thank you so much. Is he not running the game the 40 years mode? Well, he's in the showcase. You can go into showcase mode. You can play as Brock Lesnar. Like, you can do the matches with Brock. You can play that, like the Roman Reigns match, for example. You can do that. But then he's not unlockable in the game. So it's probably just a matter of 2K patching him into the game. I don't know. I think that WWE 2K, until they get like a green light from WWE, it's not going to happen, obviously. But if they mention him on TV and the ban is lifted, I don't know. WWE 2K might turn around and say, hey, can we put Brock in there? We have him in the game. He's in the showcase. Can we, green light him and put him playable into the game? I think they should. If WWE has essentially lifted the ban, if that is true, I think 2K should turn around in like the next update in the next month and again reward fans and say, hey, Brock Lesnar is in showcase. He is playable now in the game, and patch him in and make him playable. And if you go through showcase mode, they probably would even have it where like he's an unlockable in showcase. They would probably do it where they just patch him in and make him playable. That would be my guess. But I think they need to add him back in. They'll make him find a way to make you pay for him. Nah, probably not. I mean, he's in the game. Like, he's there. It's just a matter of them, I think, turning the switch, essentially, patching him back into the game. Hopefully they do. If the ban is lifted, then they can do that. Even with the download of Brock, the commentary is there for him. Yeah, everything is there for Brock. All aspects of him are there. Lucas, Matt, do you think the Brock returns anytime this year, 2025? I would say 2025. I would say, if anything, I'd get him at the Rumble. Get him at the Rumble and then have him do the match against Gunther. Keep Gunther as... Have Punk and Drew and Seth do their thing without the title. Have Gunther be the world champion. And going into WrestleMania, you have Brock challenge Gunther for the world heavyweight title and Brock loses. Do that. Because then I get my Gunther match. FBE, thank you, buddy. I still have Brock Lesnar in the game, but only his Retro 14-15 versions. I don't know if I still have him or not. Oh, Riley, good to see you, man. Thanks for always being good in the community and then leaving comments. Cheers. Brock returns a distractor at SummerSlam. You could totally do that, too. Oh, guys, we got 439 people in the chat. Thank you very much for supporting the show. If you want to support any other way, you can hit the like button on the stream because that helps a lot. It would mean a lot, too, that if we had like 400 of you, go over to Assemble Wrestling on YouTube. Just type that bad boy in while you got open. Go open a tab on your browser or minimize me on your phone if you're watching this live. And you go and you just type in Assemble Wrestling and you'll see like the same little Funko guy holding the belt and you'll be a different color. And you click on that, and that is where all your WWE topics, AEW topics. All right, let's talk. It's current state of WWE 2K24, ladies and gentlemen. We have talked about MyFaction. We have talked about the DLC. I don't like that. There are stuff I do like. Don't worry. We have just talked about Brock Lesnar in the game. Let's talk about Universe Mode, shall we? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Universe Mode. Okay. Universe Mode doesn't work for me, brother. Now, I think Universe Mode is probably as stable and as healthy as it's going to get this year. I don't think that Universe Mode is going to get anything new. I think it is going to get the regular patches. We've seen some fixes. They have corrected some stuff. For the most part, everything is working. It's just not, it's not, like we all say, like, okay, like Blind Ninja says, like, they need to fix it. They do. But what is fixing it? Because maybe in their eyes, well, it's working. I don't find Universe Mode fun anymore. I find it old. I find it very bare bones. I don't know what I want from it anymore. That's kind of my big thing. And I might do a whole separate video on just Universe Mode. But what is missing? What is it about Universe Mode that needs fixing? Like, let's not talk about the bugs, okay? Like, the bugs are there. They need... I just feel... I'm talking about, like, the mode overall. it feels dated. I've gone back and looked at the SmackDown versus Raw series where they had universe mode in there, and I'm like, it's got a different aesthetic, but it is just fundamentally, it's the exact same. Sure, now we have the action items, but that's like it. And those are just kind of, I'm sorry, like they added in all these action items for you to get these cutscenes. I'm kind of bored of that. Like, I don't need to do the Undertaker show pop up during a segment. What's your opinion on the Nightbird teases? They're going to do some kind of Uncle Howdy card. That's my guess. I feel like there isn't that thing, that hook that gets me excited, that gives me the replay value for universe mode. Universe mode used to keep me hooked for a very long time. I used to go in, and from the old days to even 2K19, 2K20, and obviously I played it through 22, 23, 24. I felt like it had more, or at least a better hook in me, where I was like, I wanted to replay. I wanted to set up new shows. I wanted to set up a new universe. I like going through that process, but it's been a long time since I've like enjoyed going through playing week to week shows, checking it out. Cause I'm just like, okay, so simulate, maybe play through my rivalries and just ignore it and just go to the next week, and then fast forward to simulate to the PLE, see what matches I get scheduled together, maybe play a couple of those, and then I just simulate, and then I'm like adjusting settings, I'm adjusting my shows. That's like the fun part of universe mode for me, is the setup, the design, tinkering. I like tinkering in it. That's my big thing. I like tinkering my rosters. I like messing with the show. I like to change the match type, the match tables. I do all that stuff. But then I'm like going through and be like, oh, I'm just going to play Monday Night Raw. I'm like, why? Why do I care to go through this part of it? Because all I'm just doing exhibition at that point. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't care unless you've got like, it feels like there's a different element that is needed in there. And I think one thing that people are bringing up in the chat right now is how there's no promos. And I don't know if that necessarily saves the mode. Does it need saving? To me, promos doesn't necessarily save the whole thing, but it definitely would help. Like, give me a promo. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, it's not happening this year. Maybe next year, maybe. But I even don't hold my breath at all. But I think promos is a thing and a piece of it that is needed. Promos are a massive part of wrestling in general, like regardless of company. But you do a universe mode, like create your sandbox of WWE and how you want to do it. How do you not have promos in there at all? I can't cut a promo on anybody. I can't do a backstage segment where two people interact and I set it up like we had in the old days, like for creative story, like story designer. And that's probably the thing that I'm thinking about, is how I think that universe mode should be scrapped. And I know it turns into like, oh, big controversy. The dummy in the chair wants this thing gone. I think it needs to be gone. If I were to, and I've said this before, I'd honestly say people like hear me say, okay, I want my GM and universe mode melted together. And then people complain because they're like, why would you want that? That's stupid. My GM is no good. You wanted my GM. I'm like, you're not hearing me. What I'm saying is take all the best things of universe mode and put them into the stable, clear system mode of my GM. Because universe mode, we sit there like, I want a draft. My GM has the draft. My GM has shows. My GM allows you to play the matches every week. My GM allows you to set up shows, audience, stadiums, big and small venues, budget management, do specific goals as well based on what Triple H wants you to do. It's missing the universe mode aspects in terms of, let me put in my show that I created, or let me set up which show I want on my calendar. Like, let me manage my calendar. It's got the match card. it has promos. Like, you could select to do a promo and like switch from face to heel. You just need the cutscenes associated with it. You know what I mean? And the other aspects that MyGM is missing right now is all the match types. The customization is basically what MyGM is missing. But MyGM's system is built with like 2K today. Universe mode was an old system. An old team made that. So it's all duct taped together. So what I'm saying is just melt the two together, and then you can have more. Allow full customization in MyGM. Allow like rivalries like crazy. And that's what I mean when I say combine universe mode and MyGM. Because we have the full calendar aspect in universe mode. Like, it simulates so much. MyGM needs the full calendar. It needs the Royal Rumble. It needs Chamber. It needs to allow like the full gambit of all the matches. But you have the draft. You have contracts you can manage now. Those are all the things you want. I would, if it were me, I would melt the two together and take the best of both. Tech says the GM stuff is boring. Yeah, it can get tedious and boring, but that's why I'm saying if you built a hybrid of both, so that you get kind of what you want, which is the customization, but then you had things like a draft, you had a cleaner interface from MyGM, you had some of the goals, things that are brought in by like Triple H, who assigns you and says, hey, you need to put on like an Extreme Rules match this week and you'll get more points. I would love all of that in universe mode. And I think that is part of what is missing for me in universe mode is not having like goals. I know it's designed to be the free sandbox mode where do whatever you want in it. I get it. But I think it is actually for me to get a hook into it, to enjoy it more. I think it does need goals associated. Kind of like what MyGM does, but for a universe mode or whatever. So being able to say like, okay, you hit a goal by running a full season of universe mode. You had somebody main event the PLEs for like 3 months in a row. You were able to keep your champion as the champion for a full calendar year. You broke the record, like you broke Roman Reigns' record, things like that. And I'm not saying like I necessarily want them to then just be like pop-up achievements and trophies. Make those for in-game achievements, or tie it in and give me cards unlocked in MyFaction or something. So I'm saying that the universe mode needs a lot more. I would probably melt the two together for some kind of WWE live. Make them work together hand in hand, MyGM and universe mode, and then give players something like a story designer. Because when we all talk often about like we want promos in the game, I honestly think that's a lot of what we're asking for. We want the customization aspect. I think what fans are really asking for is you got a season mode thing of MyGM universe, whatever, where you got a sandbox and you run your shows. I think fans are also asking for that promo aspect, but really it's about a story designer. It's being able to go into community creations and download stories that you've created, where you're going to do a story of D-Generation X versus the NWO, where you're going to go back and relive the Attitude Era in a story with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Current day WWE, creating your own stories. And within that, that's where all the stuff comes in of creating the promos and being able to create that story and create the dialogue and edit the dialogue the way you want and then post it in community creations. I'm sure that is an extreme headache where it's like, well, what about cause and logo limits? And oh my God, it would crash everything right now. Probably. But even if you didn't offer right away the online component, that's what fans would knock it for. If you gave a story designer but didn't allow upload download, fans would really be irritated by that. But I would be happy at least having it for offline to create stories I want. Yeah, it does in the Attitude area. Why does Series X Edition exist if it's the same? I don't know, Sabs. Why'd they get rid of show intros? I don't know. I've asked 2K, and I don't know. So with Universe Mode, guys, I think for me, I just need more of a hook there's no really big incentive for me to go in there. It's supposed to be rival reactions is the big one, but it's been iterated on now for the last few years. And I'm like, I've done it. Okay, there's some new cutscenes. That's it. There's nothing else different. And it's like every time they do something, it seems to hurt universe mode. Zerlak. We talked about Brock a few minutes ago. We don't know if Brock's going to come back. Abigail says, what about the draft? What about draft? They have draft in my GM. They will not put one in universe mode. Anyone done set live event? I'll do like a live event of like I'll have Raw, and then I'll put a live event in on Thursday or something, and then I'll do SmackDown. Zerlak, all good, buddy. Wrestling talk and fun gaming clips. Matt, how much MyFaction do you play weekly? Not a ton anymore. I would put in a couple of hours every week. That's about it, tops. But I really wasn't focused on it. I would spend more of my time with like just messing around, just playing matches, universe mode. There was a stretch where I was playing MyFaction a lot more consistently. Yeah, I just dropped off, and then I saw all the Persona card stuff, and I was like, I don't have time for this. I'm not grinding for this. Like I just actually don't have the time, so I have to go more casual. J Diz LA create a pay-per-view with show intro. See, that's what I like. That's what I would do. I would ditch universe mode, and I'd just be like, here's create a pay-per-view. People would be like, what's the point of that? I'd be like, that's all you want. That's all people want. But then it's just exhibition with a match card. But I'm like, yeah, that's what people want. People want to be able to, all you want real. You could almost like go a complete 180 with universe mode. Because I think a lot of people, like, what if I gave you, like you want promos. What if 2K was like, universe mode is gone, but now we have this my show. Create a show. Lonnie. Yeah, 19 months as a member, dude. Thank you. What if you had create a show or my WWE show or WWE Live as the mode, and all it is basically create a pay-per-view. So what if it was like go in there, you'd be able to create a match card of like 3 to 14 matches. You could make a WrestleMania, and you could add in 3 promo slots in there with like a custom design element. And he's got a show. I don't know. Brad, sorry, but community creations just completely nullifies MyFaction, in my opinion. Yeah, kind of. But a lot of stuff gets just blocked now. So it's steering in that direction of like, you have to play MyFaction in order to get the unlocks. Casanova, do 2K watch your videos? I don't know. Maybe a little. New match types, arenas, and more interactive objects like in the previous games. Yeah, I'd like to see more interaction. Devin, thank you again for the super chat. Could you talk to somebody about adding full entrance themes to the jukebox? Like I used entrances, they cut halfway through, total buzzkill. Oh, in the jukebox? Yeah. I don't know if I could, buddy. I don't think that will ever change. It's just on a limit for what you can listen to. Do you think that they should replace showcase mode with towers mode? Yeah, I don't need a showcase. There's like the next topic too. Showcase mode. I think WWE. See, I sit here and I'm like, oh, don't add this, don't add this. It's like, what is in this game, Matt, that you would be making? I think you need a break from showcase. I understand it's like a big. I don't think it will go anywhere. I think they'll continue to do it. Like next year, what if it's like a Roman Reigns or an Undertaker showcase? It'll be more of the same. I think showcase is there because it's a nice tagline. It's a nice marketing thing. I haven't minded showcase. I like when they did the real commentary lines added in. This 40 years of WrestleMania showcase, on one hand, I did kind of enjoy it, but on the other, I was like, I couldn't wait to get it done. I mentioned this in like my review as well. I didn't like how the superstars were automatically unlocked from Showcase, but the arenas were not. I'm kind of like, do one or the other. Either everything is locked and I have to grind and unlock it, or everything just unlocks day one because I bought the 40 years edition, for example. I didn't like that half was locked, half was not. It didn't give me the option to unlock either, which was kind of a bummer because some people might be like, actually, I want to grind through it. I don't want the game to automatically unlock all the wrestlers. I wanted to go through Showcase and play it that way. I think that was kind of a miss. And like my game, I lost my save data on my Xbox. I had to go in and replay Showcase. And the second time I did it, I just like got myself DQ'd or counted out or whatever it was. They counted out every time for every match so that I could just get the objectives failed or done and I unlocked the arena. Until you get to certain matches and you can't do that. But that's all I did just to get through it. I was like, this is a chore. VJC, I think they should do a what if showcase like we got Undertaker versus Sting, Austin versus Hogan. See, that's a good idea. You could do Rock versus Shawn Michaels. There's a lot of great ones like that. See, that's a great idea. Instead of just a traditional, okay, here's Rey Mysterio's matches, here's John Cena's matches. It gets tiring and repetitive. But if you did the similar idea of, I love the what if idea. If you're going to keep Showcase around, do it that way. And that's a great way to market it too, because you can just visualize how they would advertise it and just be like, what if you had the most iconic wrestler superstars in history, the most iconic legends face off against each other? You could do anything. Like you could just have Hogan versus Austin at WrestleMania. You could have Shawn versus Rock. You could do all of these fantasy matches. If they got Sting back in for a Legends deal, you could advertise Sting versus Undertaker. And the cool thing, if they did that, add in cutscenes, like add in motion capture for that, specific to Showcase. That would be cool. So if you had these what if matches and you did Undertaker versus Sting, just have them mocap Sting and Undertaker motions for these moments of them like coming face to face, and that's like the cutscene for it. You know what I mean? And they could also pull real life footage of just the individual wrestlers. So like have Corey Graves talk over it and do the commentary lines, and then have footage of Sting and then separate footage of Undertaker, and then do the in-game. It'd be kind of cool. But I think I need a break from Showcase. I don't need Showcase again. I would like them not to do that. Devin, I wish they would bring back old SmackDown versus Raw style season mode. The whole bring up a rookie Kaw every year in my rise is boring as heck. Yeah, I'm not. I like the Raw versus SmackDown ones. I tried My Rise. It's not for me. I know some people love it, and that's cool. I'm not a big My Rise guy. I don't really ever play through like wanting to take my personal character and walk through this story. It's just something I don't like. People love it. I'm glad people like it. It's just something I don't like playing very much. But I love that idea, VJC, of a showcase that's a what if showcase instead of following a specific wrestler, because it's like we've seen the matches. Like I love it. I would love a Stone Cold showcase, but at the same time, like I've seen the career, and you could just play through the matches in exhibition. So I'm like, as much as I love Stone Cold Steve Austin, I don't really need a showcase of him. Undertaker, same thing. Like The Rock would be cool, but how many times are we going to replay the John Cena Rock matches? It gets to be just repetitive, and then they fix the thing I give them credit for this year's showcase. I love that they fixed the objectives so that I didn't have to press pause every minute to do objectives. I think there was still a little bit of clunkiness with it, but there were aspects of it that were better. Stone Cold Stutter exhibition is my favorite. That's what I noticed this year for me, is that I have played so far. I have played way more just straight up exhibition matches. Just custom matches, regular matches, just different variations. Playing Punk came out, played a bunch of CM Punk matches. No universe, no showcase, just playing through matches. Because I think the gameplay has reached a point where it's like, okay, there's still issues, but it's gotten to like a solid state, in my opinion. Yes, there's always things to improve with gameplay and mechanics, but I think they've kind of found their spot of like how they like the game to play and keep going with that. To me, I'm like, refine that, refine it, get rid of glitches, make the moment-to-moment gameplay better, like improve upon it, but they've got that base for it. I don't see that changing or really needing to change. Why get the season pass when it does not unlock everything anymore? That's what I wish they would do, because they give you like the, what is it, the Mega Boost pack or whatever, the accelerator, and you can, it unlocks all these day one characters instead of using the VC in the base game. It's like, but I can't unlock everything from Showcase. It's still half locked behind Showcase, and that's one of the things I don't care about. Mike, 2K needs a whole new team that knows what the fans want. See, Mike, I think that, so to be fair, Mike, like I've been able to meet some of the developers on the game. Like, they're nice people. Like, they care. They're just nice people. That's not me being the shill and a apologist, clearly, because I'm talking about all the trash about the game, like things I don't like. But the people behind the game, they're nice people. They mean well and they try. And I think one thing's like, you can't really excuse it, but at the same time, they're on an 8-month dev cycle, 8 months to create a brand new product. They can't create something new from scratch. So I don't think it's so much the people. I think maybe it's the tools and maybe it's the timeline that they have. Maybe that's one of the biggest problems. But I don't know. Keep KC. How do you become a popular YouTuber? You gotta become a YouTuber. I don't know. You gotta do a channel, give people what they want, have a reason to watch the videos, grow an audience, grow a community, and work hard at it. Brentman, yeah, the developers can only do what the higher ups want. Yeah, it's like, what does WWE want? That's their client. Riley, do you think that WWE should release some of the 2K staff with the ones that are more passionate wrestling fans than no? I don't think that's a fair statement either. Of like, you want, hey, should we fire people? What the hell do we know? We don't know how things work. Did they fix the light tube not respawning under the ring? Was that on purpose? I don't know, Devin. I haven't checked. As far as I know, my light tubes were working. Miles, 7 months. Dude, thank you very much. Yo, Showcase needs to go miss Road to WrestleMania era. Yeah, I totally agree. Super Science is assembled. When are you joining LW? What is that? What am I joining? Miles? Yeah. I would love it if they did that. So here's the other thing. A lot of the stuff that I wish we would get in a 2K game is a lot of like melting of modes and stuff, and not having all these individual ones. So what I would love to see is a Road to WrestleMania. I would say bye-bye to Showcase. I love the what if idea of like these what if matches and do that as a showcase. I would love that as one thing because that's new and that's innovative and it's different. In theory, it's not as much work because it's just this wrestler versus this, do some commentary lines over it and maybe mocap some specialty stuff. I would do Road to WrestleMania. I would get rid of My Rise because it's like 20 plus hours for the like I get like, yeah, you're giving a lot of hours and a lot of content in there, but like I don't want to do all that. I would ditch My Rise. I would ditch Showcase and I would bring in Road to WrestleMania once again. And I would give people 5 stories to choose from. And each story that they pick with that specific wrestler is like 3 hours long. So you're going to get the same value in terms of the hours of content. You're going to get 15 to 20 hours worth of story. Give me 3 hours per story. Give me a Cody story, a Roman, a Stone Cold story, Trish Stratus, and a Kaw storyline, or pick your wrestlers. And I would do, and then when you say pick your Kaw, it would be male or female, and you could pick, and the story would be generic, like it would be universal for both. So one My Rise story, essentially, for male or female. And that way, you get kind of everything. I get a lot of legends, mix in a new star or two, like a Cody, and then a cost story for the My Rise people. And then boom, you get unlockables, you get specialty unlockables. The achievements make them better, make the unlockables more fun, and then you're good to go. ECW pack without Sabu, Tommy Dreamer, and Taz is criminal, especially when there is a whole pack dedicated to Pat and Friends. Kind of, but that would probably fall under WWE and how the Legends deals work. Yeah, Reggie, exactly. Like 09 and 10. When is WrestleMania Slime Dog? When is WrestleMania 40 Arena coming? I don't know. I've heard that it's supposed to be sometime in the summer, but I haven't heard for sure when. Did I watch Raw yesterday, Plex? I watched everything. I actually fell asleep, and I didn't see the main event. I saw that Liv retained. But I didn't see the match, and then I saw Liv kissing Dom, and I was like, that's weird and gross. It's going to tell an interesting story. I'm not a Liv Morgan fan, to be honest. Nothing against her. I don't care about the watch me. I don't really buy it. I feel like she struggled as a character. But that's okay. That's why I don't have to watch it. I can watch other stuff. WrestleMania, at least what I heard, is coming July. Sebs, I've asked 2K directly. I haven't had an answer. One thing I hate is how opponent momentum bar filled and would do move signatures, finishers, and nothing ridiculous features. Pat DLC is a troll by 2K. So it's not great. Moment of Dom's life. Well, I saw the highlight and like Dom was all like, ugh, he was like cringing back. Like he did a good job with it. Someone asked in the chat, what about an ECW showcase? See, like an ECW, WCW showcase, I don't think they'll ever do. You're speaking to a more niche audience. They need to do the big names for doing a showcase. Miles, think this may be the end of Becky contract ends this week. Oh, Becky's contract ends this weekend? Yeah. That's where I saw one of my predictions for King of the Ring was Liv winning. And because I heard that her contract was apparently coming up. I don't think she's going anywhere. I think she's re-signing with WWE. It's not like Becky's going to go to AEW. Like, come on. She's going to either not wrestle anymore or just take time off, period, and just come back to WWE later. I get the feeling that she did WrestleMania. She did WrestleMania sick. She lost, and then Rhea got injured. Becky came back, so they did that. It seemed like Becky was going to take time off, like Seth was is taking time off, and then Becky was going to come back later. Seems I don't know. We don't know anything, so I'm just like I think Becky. My speculation would be Becky takes time off now. She's had the cage match. She lost. She put over Liv. Liv can now go deal with Judgment Day and Rhea when she comes back. Becky goes away for maybe Becky goes away until the Rumble. I don't know. I don't need Becky right now. Oh, Plex, you're too kind. Thanks so much. She just had a kid. Let her be a mom for a little bit. Yeah, exactly. She's got family. Man, do you think that the weird spaces and dates between what do you think about the weird spaces? Justin, we were talking about this earlier, just the DLC spacing. I don't think it's good. I think they're way too far apart. I don't understand it. My only speculation, like other people have, is that it's the MyFaction piece. That's why I think it is. Where we go from here? You don't like, get on social media. Tell these mothers you're boycotting them. See if they get the point. With a lot of expletives. I don't know what you're talking about. In fact, I only care about DLCs that are arena part. Do you think they make a new TNA wrestling game? Nah. I don't think they would have budget for it. 2K needs to take notes from MLB The Show for their game. Gingerfit Zed, absolutely. MLB The Show's card market in their game. 2K needs to just go Go play MLB The Show. And then look at their mode for it. Their equivalent for MyFaction. Look how they structure it. It's fun. It's actually fun. Josh says, how many years do fans have to complain about Universe? All the years. Do you think Judgment Day is going to disband soon? Probably, but I think it's going to be waiting until Rhea comes back. I would think that Damian Priest drops the world title like at Clash. Rhea comes back after to get into like SummerSlam. I know there's Money in the Bank, but then SummerSlam. And then you got Liv going on, who's kind of like maybe running Judgment Day or involved in the whole thing with Dom now. Damian Priest loses the title. The other two are doing nothing. It's basically crumbling and falling apart. And Carlito's in there for some reason. And then you get Rhea to come back and be like, what the hell? And then it falls apart. 2K needs to take inspiration from Dicky. Who develops the show? Isn't it Sony Santa Monica? Ever heard much about Wrestling Code video game coming out? Huge roster. Roster looks great. Haven't heard a thing though. I hope to play it. But yeah, guys. Other than that, for like 2K24, I'm gonna kind of wrap up here in just a second, and then I'll answer some more questions for you. I don't think that. I hope 2K25 does a lot more. We've gotten to the third year in the game cycle, and by now it's like where you saw a lot more. Like we got a bunch of new returning match types. That's awesome. I think the gameplay is very solid at this point, but I think that the other things that drive players in more hardcore base to come back, like universe mode, MyFaction is an issue because of the Persona cards. Showcase mode, I think people are kind of done with. They need something new and fresh. I think a lot of players in general are looking for that hook, that thing that really brings them in every single day to want to play. No, it is not MyFaction. I mean a traditional mode like a universe mode, a season mode, to get them in there, to want to build other rosters, like just revamping, updating universe mode. I think it's a lot harder than we think. And so I'm very curious to see what they do new in 2K25, if anything. I don't have grand hopes that it's going to be a large departure, but if I see universe mode again doing the exact same thing, it's going to be like, dude, it's been 4 games now that it's been the same to that point. So we need a little bit more. But as we wrap things up, guys, let's answer some questions. If you guys want to, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys can. That means a lot. Damian is awesome as WWE champion. I need more from him. They put him down in like the mid card. His promos are good. I thought the Drew Damian Priest promo was too long. He's good. Brandon, image glitch fix. Yeah, you just say, people say that to me. I'm like, great. You need to fix it. They need to bring back show intros and promos into universe mode. Brian, I don't disagree. Show intros is something that people have been asking for. I don't know why it's gone. And promos, absolutely. They need some type of promo aspect. Create a promo, create one in the ring, on the stage, backstage. Offer 3 to 4 promo options, dialogue options where you can put in custom text or pre-populated messages. Insert 1 to 4 wrestlers on screen and let us select who is doing the interview, like you've had for Create a Story. David Henry, do we get a women's IC or US title? I hope they do. I want to see somebody like a Chelsea Green get a mid-card title, not a tag title. Or like Tiffany Stratton. They're building her up like crazy. She'd be perfect as like a women's intercontinental champion. VJC, that's a great one too. Have show wrestlers arriving at... See, that's the thing. If you didn't get show intros, what if you got something like that where it was the arrival like Raw does at the beginning? Or it's a combination. The fireworks before the pyro goes off for the weekly show intro. What if it randomly generates a backstage arrival of Roman Reigns arriving at the arena like they do now, and they got them walking through with their bags and all of that, or just walking through the backstage area, and then it cuts to the show intro. I would love that. That'd be so cool. Make it feel like it. Universe mode is missing that feeling. Make it feel like WWE show. I'm supposed to have the sandbox and the full tools available to run it how I want. I do think that those are those things that you're like, I want to run Monday Night Raw. I want to have the show intros and then I want to run segment 1 is promo and create that promo, and segment 2 is a match or promo that leads into a match. That would be so cool. Being able to set up Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre promo segment 1, beginning of Monday Night Raw on Universe mode. And then one of the options, make it in there that it allows you to then say break out into a match or an impromptu match. And then the general manager comes on the stage and says it's a match. That would be so much fun. FBE, dude, thank you for your super chat. RSN just posted a clip of Dominic wiping his face after Liv kissed him, and also Michael Cole cursed at him while walking. It's awesome. VJC, did you hear about Call of Duty Black Ops 6 going straight to Game Pass day 1? No, I didn't. I've been out of the loop, man. That's awesome. Riley, do you think 2K got rid of Universe mode, brought back 2K14, create a story? Which would make you feel a better Universe mode? Got rid of Universe mode and brought back 2K. I think create a story. At this point, create a story. Segment 2 leads into a fatal 4-way. Exactly, Byron. Oh, VJC was today. Call of Duty's going straight to Game Pass. Sick. Can't wait. Love it. Then I can actually afford to buy stuff for the Battle Pass. Call of Duty is still a game that I buy every year. Jesse, what's going on, brother? I'm good, man. I'm actually just about to finish up. As you come in, I'm taking off because I'm going to go get the kids and I'm going to take them to the movie soon. Jack, hi. 32 months, buddy. Good to see you. You stopped buying COD? Oh, no. I got free Game Pass all the way to September. Yeah, I got those Microsoft rewards, too. Who do you think is going to be the cover of the next game? Roman or The Rock? Those would be my picks. You play Red Dead Redemption? I did. I beat the first one. I remember I got like 100% of that thing. I didn't play the second one. When do you think Roman will return? SummerSlam or after SummerSlam? Brandon Two-Tone Anderson. Oh, dude, thank you. I want Bray on the cover. Yeah, Bray would be cool. I don't think they would. I think they go with The Rock or Roman. Probably Roman. Roman with a solo cover. It's about time. You just finished the whole arc of the Bloodline. Well, 1.0. We're into the second phase of it. The Red Dead community will flood your channel. I don't know if I want that. JC, how do I like the Insomniac games? The Spider-Man games? They're some of my favorites. My favorite all time. I love Spider-Man. All right, guys. That's it. We got to wrap up the show for the day. I'm going to walk away so we can turn things off. But thanks. We talked about the current state WWE 2K24. So if you guys want to see this thing on demand, it will be up shortly. I got the whole thing recorded so you guys can check it out if you want to. But thank you so much for coming by, hanging out. We had like 400 people in chat just hanging out, talking a little bit of 2K. So it's awesome. And I was trying out new setup stuff in here too, which is also fun. Have a great day, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for super chatting. Thank you for subscribing. And if you guys want to as well, I'll put it in the chat before you run away from me. Go over to youtube.com/assemble wrestling if you guys can. That is the other channel we set up just like 2 weeks ago. There, just put it in the chat. If you guys can check that out, it would mean a lot. We just got that channel like fully up and running 2 weeks ago. It's humming along already. Can't wait. I got new 2K video I'm trying to put out for tomorrow. It's gonna be a big boy, so can't wait for that. And we got more on the Assemble Wrestling channel too. But thank you guys all so much. At BE, dude, thank you so much for your super chats. Red Dead 2 is a prequel to Red Dead 1. Neat. Well, it's all very sophisticated. The guys, thank you so much. Have a great day. I'm just going to walk out of frame right now. See ya.
Let me talk to him.